What is happening, people? Welcome to Gooner Down Under TV, and if it's your first time on the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button, stick around for the journey, join the community, and if you're a returning viewer, if it's a first time viewer, smash that like button. It really does help out the channel. Oh, what a day, what a start to the morning it's been for me. Hopefully it's been a good day wherever you are in the world. Arsenal winning 6-0, securing top spot in their Champions League group, top of the Premier League table as well, so can't have many complaints. But today it was a classic Champions League game. This season we do look more fluid in that competition, and I get it. Mikel even said it's sort of a different competition. Teams play differently. There's different levels of traffic. And look, you can see that. Against Brentford, you're not going to have 5 people in their own half when we're attacking in a counter-attack. Everyone is going to be behind that ball, and it's always going to be sticky to try and get through that. Whereas today, Lons, even from 0-0, there was so much space in the game, and we did our part. We took advantage of it. We were a bit quicker, we were a bit more dynamic, and even in that first 10 minutes, we didn't score, but we at least started creating some better opportunities and kept growing into that game. Best thing, all our sort of 5 attacking players getting onto that score sheet. Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, although Saka sort of rebounded into a goal, it still counts. It still counts. Martinelli and Odegaard and Havertz as well. And now we can sort of chill for that next game. We don't need to worry about playing our main guys, because I think that was one of the biggest concerns for me of the game. Nothing sort of performance-wise. The biggest concern was a lot of our, better players were sort of staying on that pitch. And I don't understand why. We were up 5-0 at halftime. I do feel like Mikel could have taken these players out earlier. But it seems like no one sort of got injured, so I'm not going to hamper in on that too much. That last Champions League game, we can sort of scrap whoever goes out there, give them some Champions League experience, come away with no injuries to the main 11, and we move. But actually, you know what? That also poses a bit of an interesting question. Do you think they should make a rule that sort of benefits teams who are coming first to maybe push them to play every game competitively? Maybe if there was a rule like the 2 teams with the top points across all groups skip the next round or something like that. Because I do also feel like it's somewhat unfair for, if you're playing a team who's already qualified, they're probably not going to play their strongest competition or their strongest lineup, whereas everyone else who played them had to verse them at full strength. Is that you just leave it to luck of the draw when you play people and that's it? Or do you think it should be somewhat fair and teams should be incentivized to play their strongest team every game? Let me know what your thoughts in the comment section. I do think, the top 2 teams automatically get through the first knockout stage would be a pretty decent idea. And at least keeps the last games interesting across all groups. But yeah. That's how good the performance was, that we're coming up with hypothetical questions. We don't even really need to criticize anything. Thought Declan Rice, didn't do anything special, was just solid again. It was good to see Kai Havertz playing a lot better as well. And, just doing simple things. Winning the ball, passing up to Martinelli, being in the box. Looks like he's sort of, coming into himself. Did that beautiful skill. I didn't even know he had that in his locker, by the byline, touchline. Beating his defender, putting that ball in. If we can see more of that, that would be fantastic. We don't need to see it all the time. If you can just give us a couple of those moments a game, maybe skill a player, beat him one-on-one, put a good ball in. Win the ball back, advance it to our forwards. Be in the area, whether you sort of get a header on target, just something where you're more involved. Looked good today though, so I can't complain. Jesus, absolute quality. That goal as well, the patience to sit down the defender, take that extra touch, put it past that keeper. It was just a good performance all around. I feel like Martinelli, he was sort of the last of the attacking 3 to get a goal. You see him sort of wanting it. There's times where he maybe could have played other people in, but he was going for that, for his glory. And fair play to him. He ended up scoring his goal. And yeah, Today's one's going to be pretty short. Don't have too much to talk about when you smash a team 6-0. It's good to see, the trick now, though, is can Arteta somehow replicate this sort of style of play into the Premier League? Yes, it's, like I said, different traffic, a lot more people behind the ball, but there are some principles that I think definitely can relate. One, playing faster. So many times in the Premier League, we're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches too many, and it just slows everyone down. Two, we take no risks in the Premier League. Yes, I understand you're more likely to get exposed, whatever. But our wingers always taking one dribble, cutting back, one dribble, cutting back, passing it backwards. And it just, like, what does that really test a defense? Like, how easy does that make us to defend? Like, how easy does it make it for the other team to defend us? There are my words. And I think some of those things, if we can adapt that, maybe our football will look a little bit more sustainable. Because yes, we're top of the league right now, but I think the worry is how fine are the margins? Yes, we're top of the league, but we've had to rely on a lot of late winning goals when we're not necessarily creating a lot of chances. It could be very easily that we don't even get that one chance at the end of the game, and it's just a stalemate. So I do think this is up to Mikel to try and translate some of this Champions League football into the Prem. Make us play faster, get us more involved, have more chances, because all our players like to play in space. When we're so slow, I feel like that hinders Martinelli, hinders Saka, hinders Jesus especially. And, even Odegaard not able to do much. Yes, we want him to be creative, but can you really be creative when the team's not necessarily making runs? It's so compact. Like, what are you meant to do? I think very few people in the history of football would be able to put in one killer pass every game when the team is playing so slow like that. So I do feel a bit bad for him. But yeah, that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Today, we won 6-0. We're top of the Champions League group. We're, guaranteed first. And we're going to move into this round, round of 16 or round of 32. I'm tripping at the moment. But I want to maybe try and verse one of the bigger boys in Europe. Give us a competition. Let us have that, Champions League feel, build that momentum, and hopefully let's have a deep run. That's all from me. I want to hear from you. Let me know what your thoughts on the game are and sort of our Champions League versus Premier League experience in general. Besides that, I want you to take care of yourselves and I'll see you in that next video. Peace.